Hey everybody, this is Nors again. I'm just doing a redo of the character creation video for my campaign, Tales from the Waste, but also to factor in some things that I didn't know about for Tales of the Valiant and D&D5e. So if you join my game, or if you join a game, any campaign on Shard Tabletop, this is the screen you'll be greeted with. Thank you for joining. You have joined Tales of the Wastes. That's my campaign specifically. And great, I need to create a character. So I say, create a new character for campaign. I'm just going to use a generic name here because this is just for show. It's sort of a test, and say, okay. And all of a sudden, boom, I am in the game. This is the welcome screen. And here is my character sheet. Now, right off the bat, this is one thing that I really wanted to address, is if you're playing in my game, I'm totally fine with you doing this. I was watching the Kobold Con Day 2 stream yesterday, and the lead designer of TOV, Tales of the Valiant, said they wanted to make a system in which characters, or players could make a 5e character, D&D5e character, and also make a TOV character, like other players, and they could all play at the same table. And I think this is really, really awesome in the sense that it's a universal system. Like, if you want to play a D&D5e character, go for it. If you want to play a TOV character, go for it. The GM won't have a problem making sure that both players have fun and work within the system that's being played. Okay, so at its heart, it's almost like a universal 5e system. TOV is, and so to that end, I wanted to make sure that all players know in my game they can make a D&D 5e character or a Tales of the Valiant character. And so to do that, we're in a Tales of the Valiant campaign, but you can go up to here and go to Game System. Okay, so I clicked on the name Jiho Monessa, and I went to Game System, and then I can just click Base 5e. Boom. And as you can see, now I pick race, background, class, and abilities, rather than, boom, here, again, Black Flag role-playing, lineage, heritage, background, class, abilities. Okay? So it just changes things slightly for the character creation process, but overall, it's the same. The same mechanics for the base, like the foundation of this game works with D&D 5e. And so if you want to make a D&D 5e character, that's totally fine. So like, let's say I do want to create a D&D 5e character. I click that, I go to race, and I have this huge collection. Umbral Human, that sounds cool. Shade also sounds cool. Raven Folk, Rat Folk, Quick Step, no idea what that is. All these things are totally playable. I encourage you to explore what would work for you. If you want to make a specific TOV character, also awesome. Lineage, boom, here are the lineages. Fewer, yes, but you also get a heritage, and look at all the heritage. So lineage would be like your ancestry, you know. I'm a dwarf. Dwarves are who I am, right? My parents were dwarves. Okay? That's the idea. And then the heritage is like the culture in which you grew up in, right? It's a nature versus nurture system, right? So my nature is dwarf. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say my nature is dwarf. I'm going to select that. But my culture and my nurture is wildlands heritage. That sounds cool to me. Oh, wait. Vexed heritage. Characters are defined by their defiance of supernatural connection to their defiance. Ooh, that's what I'm going to do. Really curmudgeon-y dwarf. Sounds great. Okay, so boom, done with that. All right, the next thing, pick a background. I have all these backgrounds. This says ask the GM. And that's because these come from different sources than the main game. Okay? I'm okay with you using any of these. There are so many. And the same ones will be offered to players that decide to make a D&D5e character rather than a TOV character. I don't think that these ones will show up, but you're welcome to pick any of the other ones. I think I am rustic for my background. Why not? I'm just picking things to pick them. And then my class, barbarian, bard, cleric, fighter, mechanist, druid, monk, paladin, ranger, sorcerer, rogue, warlock, and wizard. I'm going to be a ranger. I've always liked rangers, and I know that they redesigned the ranger. A dwarven ranger sounds really cool, so we'll do that. And here we get this level 1 ranger and proficiency. So I go down here. See, as you can see, this is all very similar to D&D5e. Nature, athletics for sure. Survival, absolutely. And then my tools, navigator. That sounds fun. Class features, climbing speed or swimming speed. Climbing speed will be similar to my, the same as my walking speed. And vexed heritage options. Insight. And my speech will be primordial. That just sounds super cool. Rustic options. I get medicine and acrobatics. That's cool. And then a proficiency, land vehicle and tool, land vehicle and armor, instrument, martial weapon, land vehicles. I think armor. So I get heavy armor. That's cool. And then I get to pick a talent. Oh no, my cat is about to jump over my computer and into my lap. That was a close one. He almost bashed my computer. Comrade, hand to hand. So these talents are feats. They're just slightly different. Okay. So I would go pick one. Hand to hand. I like that. Barehanded, you gain this benefit. The damage of your unarmed strikes from 1 plus strength modified to 1d6 plus strength modifier while wielding an improvised weapon. This is fun. Okay, that's what I'll do. Sounds cool. And then my spell slots, that's what we'll do. Just the normal. I don't know what spell points are. We're just going to do the normal thing, and then I close that. Okay? And now my abilities. Now, this is up to your GM. If your GM wants you to do standard array or point by or anything like that, that's fine. But I do rolls scores, and I really, really enjoy hero because it's 2d6 plus 6, which means characters feel very, very powerful from the start. You can start with a 20 on one of your stats if you roll well. And I always do the roll 7, which means it rolls 2d6 7 times, and it drops the lowest one, and therefore it makes it feel like you're a great adventurer from the first session we play, and I love that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click that. Now, I did not roll that good, but don't click it over and over and over again if you're playing with me. Just click it once. That's what you get to use. And so I'm going to be strength and dex and let's see here, constitution. My intelligence is not very high. My wisdom here. I got a lot of 12s and that. Actually, I'm going to swap these. I think I'm going to take this and put that at 10, and I'll put this at 12. That's it. And then I get to upgrade. So I'll take this and put it into dexterity. And I'll take this and put it into charisma. Okay. And then, says prioritize Dex and Wisdom. I sort of did that, but not really. For lineage and heritage, choose combination you like. For background and talent, choose homesteader and far traveler. I didn't do that. That's fine. I don't care. These are like sort of a quick creation guideline. So then I'll save. So boom, now I have my stats. I get +3 on 2 of things and +1 on a bunch. And then equipment. Boom. Here's our equipment. Scale mail, yes. Short swords or 2 simple weapons. I like the idea of a hand axe and a dagger. There we go. Cool. That just sounds really cool. Dungeoneer's pack or Explorer's pack. I'll do Explorer's pack. I get a longbow and 20 arrows. I get a backpack and bedroll. And then there's some coding things that are wrong here. I don't know what this might be. I can't click on it, unfortunately. Candles, Traveler's pack, Traveler's clothes, and a pouch, and 20 gold pieces. Add. And that's it. My character is made. Now, this is a vexed dwarf, rustic, right? And I can go up here, show heritage, show lineage, and show background, which is really, really, really nice. So I can just click this, and it shows me all this stuff, right? Adventuring motivation, things like that. I could roll a dice or pick one of these just to give myself that motivation. I can scroll down here and just see all my different features. I can roll this. Boom. I got a 1. Adventuring gives me thrills I never experienced back home. Okay, that's cool. So where would I put that? Probably somewhere over here in like personality traits or something. Yeah, maybe not in ideals, maybe in backstory, and then write like a little backstory for them. Let's see here. Now, I've noticed that there's been something weird going on with like, oh yeah, there's my gold pieces. Huh, okay, that worked. So, what happens if I go up here now and click Game System and go 5e? It reasserts this, which I wouldn't do. So this was probably pointless to show you that, but just so you know. All right, I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to go through making a D&D character in the same exact game. Okay, so here is the same screen with a new character, Sorokin Pritikin, fun name. And this is specifically for the 5e, okay? So if you wanted to make a 5e character and didn't want to do the TOV thing, that's totally fine. You still get luck points. There's lots of different things. And you also get tons of cool races and all those things. So, oh, this one's crazy. This one looks very cool. But Bearfolk, I mean, come on. Bearfolk is just the coolest. I've got to pick it. So I pick Bearfolk, and then I select like the Shadowborn Bearfolk. Whoa. Grizzlehide Purifier. These are all super cool, but Shadowborn Bearfolk sounds like the coolest, so I click that one, and I select it. Do you want to rename your character? No. That's fine. And then I picked my... so, you know, remember how here are the... Oh, it says Ask Game Master. Oh, this is interesting. I have not gone through this before. So here are all the D&D specific backgrounds, and here are the TOV backgrounds. So if you want to play this, you can always just pick one of these. I'm going to be a seer because that sounds awesome. And then I get to pick my class. Now there's lots of classes here. We've got a witch, Thurage. I don't even know what that is. Ranger, Paladin, Monk. Now these are the classic classes for D&D5e. Anti-Paladin, very cool. But I think I'm going to be a witch because that sounds awesome. A Bearfolk witch, so cool. Now, this is one of the sticking points. Is spellcasting is different in 5e than in TOV. Not dramatically so, but enough that it changes the way you use your character, you use your spells and things like that. For instance, I could get into it, but I don't think it's worth it actually to get into the weeds on that now that I think of it. The main thing is that 5e characters have a spell list. And I ask that if you have a spell list, you stick with that spell list. That's the spell list your character and your class gets. While TOV spellcasting characters, they don't have a spell list per se. Rather, they have access to spells within a magical spell source. So a magical source would be, there's 4. There's arcane, there's primordial, there's divine, and weird. And every caster in TOV gets access to one of these sources, which is essentially a pool of spells with a thematic element that connects them all. That's not the case in 5e, and that's fine, it doesn't matter. Really, I just ask that you stick with the list that you have or the source that you have. Now, if we go down, I'm going to select this to there. Okay, so now I got to do my proficiencies. I'll do medicine, because that seems witchy, as well as nature, also witchy. Need to pick a coven. Ooh, how cool. This is like subclass, I believe. Coven of the Roiling Hearth, Coven of the Verdant Wood, Coven of the Hidden Moon. Hidden Moon, duh, that sounds super cool. Shadow Bearfolk options, allow selection. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. This just, yeah. It basically is just like not limiting you to only having those things, but I'm just going to keep it. Seer options, I get playing card 3. I think dice set, and my language will be Druidic. That sounds cool. And then I'll close that. And then I roll my abilities. Same thing, if you're playing with me, roll the scores. Here's the 2d6 plus 6, and then hit the 7 one. Now this one I rolled very well on. I'm going to go wisdom. I'll go, I get plus 2 on this, so I'll go like that. Like that, actually, like that. Constitution, I'll take a 15 there, a 15 here, and a 12. That seems fine. Okay, save. Starting equipment, it's very similar to TOV. Short bow and arrows, sure. Daggers, sure. All of this is just perfectly done. Boom. And then pick which spells. So here's my spell list. It's just showing me the spells I have access to. And this is super, super simple. Now, this is where, well, we'll get into that in a second. All right, so we'll pick my spells, Druidcraft, this thing, Guidance, so Illusion of Health, I love that idea. Emotional Gamut, that sounds fun. And I get sleep automatically. Tongue Pick. Very cool. There we go. My witch is made. I have 16 AC. That seems quite good for... Oh, and there we go. Oh, it just went down to 14. That's funny. I have better AC without armor on. Haha. Cool. So here's my witch. My Shadowborn Bearfolk Seer Witch. I love it. That sounds so cool. Here's all the information I need to know. Spellcasting, ritual cut. You can cast any which spell you know as a ritual if that spell has the ritual tag. All these things. All right. I'm going to pause again, and I'm going to go back to my other character real quick. All right. We're back to my other character. Now, I know that I'm a ranger, and so I don't have spells to start off with, but there is an important distinction to make. Say I was making a TOV game system, a Black Flag role-playing or Tales of the Valiant role-playing spellcaster. And I wanted to take spells. Now, I'm going to go here. Let's see, I get spellcasting level 2, so let's just level up real quick, just to see level up. Ranger level 2. And I have to go down to here, class feature, blah, blah, blah. And I want to look at the spell casting, because it says here, the spell casting. I'm going to go aim. Okay. Which is all good. I'll close this, and I have to pick ranger spells. Boom. Here. And here are the ranger spells in terms of my source, right? I have access to a specific source, and that's it. Okay? The thing is, this isn't all the spells I could possibly choose from, right? Like, we know that 5e, D&D5e has so many spells. And I have access to those spells if I go to more, right here, and then I scroll down to book. Oh, shoot. There will be more books here that will give you access to tons of more spells. I just have to figure out how to share them. So I'm going to do that. One sec. Okay, I figured it out. So the reason that I can't see any other sources when I go to here and go book, it only shows that, is because I have this clicked, character options only. That means within the system of TOV, it's only able to show me the things that are specifically for Tales of the Valiant. But I'm going to click this, boom, and as you can see, tons of more things show up, and now I can go to more, I can go to book, and look at all these books, Deep Magic Volume 1, go. Okay, now it's showing me all the spells that I could take. Now, here's the thing. TOV has a guide to converting spells. Let's take a look at that real quick. If you want to use a spell that is from 5e that isn't part of Tales of the Valiant, talk to me. That's first. But we also go to spells. This is the conversion guide. Tales of the Valiant conversion guide. We go to spells. Page 8. So we're going to scroll down to page 8. And here we go. So most of the spells in this game are largely unchanged. However, the way classes interact with and choose spells has changed, as detailed under the Rituals and Sources heading. In addition, a handful of spells received name changes to better align with many of the subtler changes throughout TOV and give a more intuitive structure to spell names and their advanced versions. Okay? So, anyways, this is how we basically figure out if a specific spell is in the source of a Tales of the Valiant character. So, a ritual has a duration that lasts longer than a minute, requires highly... So, like, if you find a 5e spell that you want to use, these are the parameters to say that it is a ritual. Okay? Has duration and lasts longer than a minute, requires highly specific and or expensive material components, not covered by a component pouch, produces a utility effect that isn't combat focused, such as creating shelter, facilitating long distance travel, gathering information, or similar. Oh, yes. And then in terms of the forces, right? The sources of TOV. So let's say you have access to the arcane source. These are the things, if you find a 5e spell and you say, I think this is going to be an arcane source because I'm a wizard and wizards have access to the arcane source. Okay? Detects, suppresses, ends, or otherwise interacts with mechanical aspects of spellcasting. It's arcane. If you can make an argument to me that the spell you want does this, suddenly it is arcane. We will say it's arcane and you can take that spell. Does it harness elemental energy, acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder? Does it interact with a creature's senses, whether to fool them or to extend their capabilities? Okay? does it appear on the 5e wizard spell list? That's like the broadest, right? The broadest thing. And so they basically have the same things for each source. So they have the same type of conversion for every source, and that's how we do it. That's how we'd make it work. Now, they also have, if we scroll back up to the table of contents here, they also have subclasses, a way to convert subclasses. So if you'd really like to play a subclass, that's a 5e subclass, but want to play a druid in the TOV framework, we can make that happen as well. It's just really up to working together and collaborating on how that would look and following the guide. So let me know if that's what you want to do for this campaign. I am all ears. That's my jam. I'm really into collaborating and using these types of things. I think this conversion document does a really good job of making it pretty simple. So anyways, that's all. And remember, I closed this. Remember to have fun, be excellent to each other. I hope we get another person for the start of our campaign today. If not, hopefully we start it next week. We will see. We will see. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for following along, and I'll catch you on the flip side.